What a lovely morning, even though it's overcast, but it doesn't matter. I'm out getting some fresh air, walking along the canal in the Cheshire countryside. Well, that's what it looks like, but I'm actually in a town called Runcorn, which is in a place called Merseyside, which is near a big city called Liverpool, if you ever heard of it. Anyway, this isn't about geography. We're going to talk about something today which is very interesting and it's going to benefit you. And what that is something that we do every day, but some of us are good at it and others are not so good at it, but we all need it. And what is it? Yes, it's bloody sleep. It's interesting, that, isn't it? What's stopping us from getting a really good night's sleep? Hey? And more importantly, how can you sleep fast? How do you do it? Even if your mind is racing or there's lots of noise around you, how can you actually switch off, turn on, and then go to sleep? Well, in this video, you're going to find out exactly how to do it, starting right now. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to delve into something we all deal with at some point in our life. In fact, every day. What is that? Sleep. Why do so many people struggle with it? Well, it's an interesting question. And what's stopping us from getting a good rest? And more importantly, how can we fall asleep even if your mind is racing or there's noise around you that's literally just pulling you out of that relaxation vibe? I'll give you an example. When I fly, which I do quite often, I can't stand it. I really don't like flying. And when I'm sitting there on this bloody plane and I've got two people either side of me who I don't bloody know, I just don't want to be there. The best thing for me to do is what? Fall asleep. But I can't fall asleep because I suffer with insomnia. And if you suffer with insomnia, don't worry, because I'm going to teach you how to fall asleep very quickly. And you'll never have the problem of not being able to drift off into a dream state realm ever again. Everything's going to be relaxed and calm and beautiful. And you'll literally sleep like a baby. So just stick with me till the end, because I'm going to share some easy techniques that you can use literally tonight to help you drift off very quickly. So the first thing we need to talk about sleep itself. So what is sleep? What actually is it? So to understand something, you have to know what it bloody is. Well, sleep isn't just about switching off. It's a natural cycle your body and your mind go through every night. So think of it like recharging your phone battery. When you sleep, your brain clears out junk information and fixes itself and sorts out all them memories, in other words, all them thoughts. Now, your body repairs muscles, balances hormones, and keeps your immune system very strong. And in order to sustain that, you have to go into something called sleep. Now, there are two main stages of sleep. There's deep sleep, and then that's where your body does most of its repair and all its workings to recover. And then there is dream sleep, which is also called REM sleep, REM. That's where your brain is more active and you often start to dream. Okay, that's called REM sleep. You'll often find it, when you see people, they're blinking loads. It's called REM, rapid eye movement. There you go. So you're learning stuff already, but you need to know about these things and you need to know both of them. So deep sleep makes you feel rested, and dream sleep helps your mind stay sharp. Okay? Have you got it? Good. Without enough sleep, everything else in your life will suffer. Your focus, your mood, even your health will be affected if you don't ensure you've got those types of sleep daily. So let's get to the nuts and cranny of all this. Why do we struggle to sleep? Now let's look at the big question. Why do so many people struggle? Do you struggle? Probably. That's why you're watching this bloody video. But you won't be struggling for much longer once you figure out and understand what I'm about to share with you. You'll like this. You see, here is some of the main reasons why you can't sleep. Now, one of them is stress and worry. That's the big one, because your brain doesn't switch off just because it's nighttime. If you're worrying about work, money, family, or just overthinking, your brain will stay active. So use your imagination. Thoughts, imagine as physical things. Sort of imagine if you've got thoughts and they're spinning off, if that isn't switching off, you're not going to go into that relaxed sleep, are you? Because your mind's still bloody active. And that's what stress is. Stress is overthinking. Worrying is overthinking. There's too many thoughts. And because you've got the thoughts, you can't bloody sleep, right? It's too freaking active. So what we have to do, we have to shut that off. So at least you know one of the main reasons is stress and worry, because it's called active thinking. And once your mind's active, you ain't going to sleep, mate. You can't sleep. Instead of calming down, it's running through all these problems, because you're thinking, your brain's trying to solve the problem. And when you worry, there's no problems being solved. It's just a waste of energy, and it takes a lot of energy. You've heard that saying, you can worry yourself sick. You know about that, don't you? Yeah, remember that. Another big one, which is widely known, is too much screen time. Now, what does that mean? It means like watching TV or tablets or playing with your phones. They all give off bright light. That light tricks your brain into thinking it's still bloody daytime. When that happens, your body doesn't release enough melatonin, and that's the sleep hormone. So because of that, you're going to stay active. Now you think, oh, I'm consciously in control of what I watch. I can control my body. You can't, because your reptilian part of your brain, where you're originally from, that doesn't give a crap about iPhones. It doesn't understand what it is, right? It just sees light. So if it sees light, it means daytime. So your brain's awake. So don't be watching, like sitting in bed, lying in bed, watching a bright screen. Instead, read a book, because now it's hard work. You're not searching for answers, you're reading, and that'll tire your brain, and then before you know, you'll fall, you're gone. Another one is caffeine and food. I give an example. Coffee or tea or energy drinks, even chocolate, can give you a stimuli. In other words, it keeps you bloody awake. Heavy meals late at night can also make it harder for you to relax. Number 4 is noise and light, which we mentioned before. Some people live in busy areas with traffic and noisy neighbours or city lights. Even small sounds or lights can stop your brain from fully relaxing, and it does. We need to switch our thoughts off. You switch your thoughts off, then you go into sleep. See, it's easy, this, isn't it? It's all to do with an active mind. Ah, you're getting this bit now, aren't you? I bet you're sort of to fall asleep now, aren't you? Relax. Another one is bad sleep routine. What does that mean? If you go to bed at different times each night, your body clock gets confused. Your body loves rhythm. It wants to know, when do I sleep? When do I wake up? Now, if you haven't got a routine, it's not going to bloody know. So this is called habit. If you go bed at the same time every night, you'll get up at the same time every morning. And your brain loves it, because it's called routine. But if you're sleeping here for 5 minutes, sleeping there, waking up when you want, your brain's going to be like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Remember, it needs structure, and this is how you get the sleep. Another one is health conditions. Things like anxiety, depression, or sleep disorders can also make it much harder for you to drift off. And what is anxiety? Anxiety is just another word for fear. What is fear? Fear comes from thinking, an active mind, thinking of the worst case scenario, which leads into a low vibration emotional state, which we call depression, which is another word for suppression. See, it all makes sense, right? So let's not confuse it. If you've got an active mind, in other words, if you're thinking too much, you ain't going to bloody sleep. You have to shut your mind off, empty your mind. Right, so let's look at this bit, how sleep actually works. Now, here's something very important that you should know. Your body has what's called a sleep cycle. It works on a 24-hour clock known as the circadian rhythm. This basically is when your body goes through a natural timer. It tells you when to wake up and when to go to sleep. It tells you when the sun goes down, your body should release melatonin. This makes you sleepy. And when the sun rises, your body lowers its melatonin. And that boosts energy hormones like cortisol. Have you ever heard of cortisol? Well, you need to start looking into it because it's very important. The thing is, the problem is that modern life messes up this natural cycle that we have. Late night screens, late night work, bright lights, and all of the tricks that your body clock gets confused by. We live in a neon society of technology, and technology is very vibrant, and it's usually lit up with big bright lights, which does what? Knackers your body, because your body's like, I don't understand. Why is it constantly light? So I'm going to stay awake. That's why so many people say, I'm tired all day, but wide awake at night. The rhythm is out of sync. So let's get into this more now, because what's the answer? How do you fall asleep? And how do you do it fast? Okay, now here's the really good stuff. You'll like this. Because what can you do to fall asleep quickly? That's what you really want to know. And I'm going to give you the answer. I'll give you several methods. Not all will work for everyone, but try them and see what helps you the most. So we're not just going to give you one suggestion. We're going to give you multiple, and you try each one. And the one that works for you the most, take it and use it, okay? And the more you practice, the better at it you'll become. So here is technique number one, which is called the 4-7-8 breathing method. Now, this is very powerful, and this is a powerful and simple method that will get you to sleep very quickly. And here is how you do it. All you do is breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. So try it with me now. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold it. Then hold your breath for 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold it. Then breathe out slowly out of your mouth for 8 seconds. There you go. Let's repeat it. The 4-7-8. Breathe in for 4 seconds. So as you're breathing in, go to 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 7. Then breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you keep doing this. And what happens? You're going into a natural vibe. Even now, just by me sort of practicing it, I'm starting to feel sleepy. And you will too if you do it. It puts you in a calm state. In fact, it's very hard to get stressed when you're calm. And if you don't want to get stressed, be calm. If you want to be calm, use the 4-7-8 breathing method. It's amazing. And you'll see the results of it immediately if you do it right now. So that's 4-7-8 breathing method. Try it, you'll like it. You see, if you do this a few times, it calms your nervous system down. And it shows your heart rate and tells your body it's time to rest. So your actual heart rate will slow down as well. It's like you're tricking it because your body's reacting to what you're doing. So if you're consciously taking conscious breaths, your body's going to go naturally into a calm state. Like I say, even now I'm getting a bit tired. When I say tired, relax. Because it bloody works. Right, let's look at technique number 2, which is body scan relaxation. Have you ever heard of this one? Well, this is how you do it. What you need to do is lie down and focus on each part of your body. You start with your toes, and then you tell yourself to relax. Then move up your legs all the way up to your hips, and then your stomach, and then all up your chest, and all through your arms, and then all through your face. And say the words, relax. Now, this might sound a bit stupid, and you might feel a bit awkward and stupid doing it at first, and that's because you've never done it before. But your subconscious doesn't understand the difference between what's real and what's not. So if you tell yourself to relax, your subconscious will listen to it. And if it listens to it, what's it going to do? It's going to obey it. If it obeys it, you're going to bloody fall asleep, aren't you? So by the time you reach your head in this little thing that we're doing, this technique, your whole body starts feeling heavy and calm. And this often leads you straight into sleep. Another one is technique number 3. So I'm giving you 3 now. If them 2 don't work, which they do, in their own right, they will work. The more you practice, the more better you'll get, the more effective it will be. But here's another one, right? Because I'm nice. Technique number 3 is to create something called the sleep cave. And you think, what's a bloody sleep cave? Well, listen to this. What you need to do is make your room or bedroom a sleep-friendly atmosphere. In other words, make it as sleep-friendly as possible. Now, what you do to ensure you get that thing, that friendly, sleep positive atmosphere? Well, first of all, you keep it dark. Remember, you don't want bright lights. You keep it dark. You use blackout curtains if you've got them, or even a sleep mask, which is them things you put over your eyes, because again, it's pitch black then, isn't it? You're sending a message to your brain. You might feel a bit stupid, but it doesn't matter what you feel. Your brain's going to react to it. It sees darkness. It thinks, oh, sleep time. And what you've got to do is keep it quiet. If noise is a problem for you, just try wearing earplugs or white noise sounds. You can go onto YouTube and just type in white noise, and it'll play 10 hours of white noise, and just have that in the background. That'll put you in a thingy state, a sleep state, a relaxed state. And another one is keep it cool in the bedroom. A slightly cooler room helps your body relax. Don't have the heating on full whack. You don't want it to be really warm. You want it to be just quite cool. So then if you do get a bit chilly, you can put the blanket on and you can take it off, because you want to be at that comfortable, relaxing, calm. Because the objective is trying to get your body as relaxed as you can, because that's the only way you're going to sleep. So this is what we've got to do, because your brain learns to connect your bedroom with sleep. Does that make sense? So the more you do this, the more you prep it, the more your body will literally go into your bedroom and you'll start to, I feel relaxed already. I've not even laid down yet, because your body's and your mind, should I say, is habitual. In other words, it does things by habit. It recognizes. It thinks, this is a relaxing room here, and you'll find yourself going to sleep without any effort, because you conditioned and programmed yourself to do it. So there's no effort involved. It happens on a subconscious, unconscious level. I'm going to give you another technique, another one. And technique number 4 is a big one. I call it write it down. You say, okay, what does write it down mean? Well, if your brain won't stop racing, in other words, thinking thoughts, try this. Keep a notebook by your bed before you sleep. Write down your worries or things that you're thinking about tomorrow or maybe the past. Just write it down. Do a little. If you've got plans, you're worried about what you need to do, things in the next couple of days, just write down a to-do list, because now you're not thinking about it, because now it's on paper and the paper doesn't need to sleep, you do. So you get it out of your mind, them thoughts, and put it into physical form. So write a list. This gets the thoughts out of your head and onto the paper, and your brain feels like it doesn't need to hold onto that information anymore. And if it's not holding onto it, it's your mind's going to be free, empty, and then you can go into that calm, relaxed state. You ever had a kid and they go, oh, I'm so excited, I can't sleep. Even adults get it. You get that excited. Like, say you were going on holiday tomorrow, or it's Christmas tomorrow, or something good's happening tomorrow, and you're really excited. And then you say, right, go to bed now. You can't, I'm too excited. In other words, you've got too much thoughts. See? Get rid of the thoughts, then you go into sleep. I'm going to give you another technique. Just in case none of these work, but they do. But this is a good one, this is, right? This is technique number 5, and the army use this, the military use it. It's called the military method. Because think about it. If you're out and you're in combat and all that, you need to get rest, but you can't get in a nice warm bed with a hot water bottle and chill out. You're out on the battlefield. So the military have to understand what sleep is, so then the soldiers can get rest on demand. So their technique's probably going to be one of the best ones, right? And I'm going to share that with you, the military method. So again, this actually comes from the US military. It's when soldiers, like I say, need to fall asleep fast, even in noisy places. And there will be noisy places. You can have bombs going off, guns, but these soldiers can just fall asleep. How do they do it? Well, I'm going to show you. It's called the military method. Pay attention, because this is how it works. Number 1, or should I say the first thing you should do is what? Relax your face muscles completely. Once you've done that, drop your shoulders and let your arms fall heavy. Breathe out, relax your chest, and then move down and let your legs start to feel heavy and relaxed. Then what you need to do, picture something in your mind which is calm, like laying in a canoe on a quiet lake. So let's try that again, okay? So you relax your face muscles completely. Drop your shoulders. Let your arms fall heavy. Breathe out. Relax your chest. And then move it down and relax your legs. And then picture something calm. I gave you an example, like floating in a canoe on a quiet lake. That will get you asleep in seconds. With practice, now this is a fact, with practice, because that's what it takes, people say, in other words, the soldiers, and people as well, because they do it, they say that they can fall asleep in about, are you ready for this? 2 minutes. That's 130 seconds. Was it 120? I don't know, I'm getting tired now. But there you go, 2 minutes and you could be asleep just by doing that. So why aren't you bloody doing it? Well, it doesn't matter, because you're going to do it now, aren't you? Do it after this video. Everything I've gone, rewind it, watch it again, watch the little techniques, and just copy them. And I guarantee you, if you're not asleep, you'll feel very, very, very relaxed. And what's the next stage? Sleep. Now you might be thinking, is that it? Do I have to just follow these 5 steps? And yes, I'll fall asleep. Well, the truth is, yeah, you bloody will. But because I'm a nice person and I want to give you value, I want to give you something, I'm going to give you another technique. So you can't get away with it. I'm giving you lots of techniques here. Here's the other one, which is technique number 6. This is what they call limit screen time. Again, it's like the lights. Try to watch TV at certain times and then switch off all your screens, all of your screens, everything, your phone, your tablet, the TV, anything that's bright lights, switch it off at least 1 hour before you go to bed. Now you think, well, what am I going to do for an hour? It doesn't matter. You're trying to go to sleep. Just turn the telly off, put your tablet away, put your phone away, and just sit there and just dim the lights. Even if you're sitting in your bed, the living room, just sit there. And you'll think, well, what do I do now? You'll start to relax. Okay? Lower the brightness or use a blue light filter. They're very powerful as well. That'll get you more into that zone, that sleepy zone. Okay? Technique number 7. There's another one, which is routine. Go to bed at the same time every night. Wake up at the same time every morning. Your body will learn the pattern, and then sleep will come more naturally. And that's what we want, because if you force yourself to sleep, force negates. In other words, if you say, I need to go to sleep, I need to go to sleep, I need to go to sleep, it ain't going to happen, because you're thinking and you can't sleep until the thoughts have gone. Routine. Right, so you've done all these things. What happens? What do I do if I still can't sleep? Here's a mistake many people make. They lie in bed, tossing and turning, getting frustrated, and the more they worry about not sleeping, the more awake they feel. You've experienced that. When you're trying to go to sleep, you can't. Because why? Because you're thinking about trying to go to sleep, but it's the thinking that's keeping you awake. So with that, if you can't sleep after 20 minutes, now think about this. You're tossing and turning and you're still not asleep after 20 minutes. What should you do? Carry on doing what you're doing? No. Get up. Do something. Get out of bed and do something. Now you think, oh, I don't want to do that because it'll wake me up. It won't, because you're already awake. So if you can't sleep, you're tossing and turning, and it's been 20 minutes and you still can't sleep, get up. Do something. Do something calm in low light. Okay? So when I say do something, don't run a marathon. Just get out of bed and do something in low light. Like reading a simple book or listening to very calm, quiet music. Not music with lyrics, because you're listening to the words, which is taking your attention, because now you have to think. You want to listen to classical or meditation music or string music, things you don't have to think about. And then once you do that, get back in bed and then try again. Don't let your brain connect your bed with stress, because if it associates that together, you'll never sleep. Because as soon as you're in bed, your brain will think stress, can't sleep. Does this make sense? It makes sense, doesn't it? What about sleeping with noise around you? Because some of you may live in busy areas. So what if there's a constant noise? What do you do then? What do you do? This constant irritation, this sound permeating through the walls, and you can't switch it off because it's there. You're not thinking about it, but it's still there. What do you do then? Well, here is some tips for you. Remember what I said about noise. There's something called white noise or brown noise. That's another one. You can get apps. Use white on noise or brown noise apps, or go onto YouTube and just type in 10 hours of brown noise or white noise. And what it'll do, that'll calm you. If you play it, that steady sound blocks out any sudden noises. It's like a shh. I'll put the sound on the screen now so you know what it sounds like. If that doesn't work, again, these all work, but we're just going to give you lots of lifelines. If it doesn't work, try earplugs or noise cancelling headphones. You've got to train your brain by practicing relaxation methods. And over time, your brain can learn to tune out background noise and focus more on the no noise, the no mind, the empty mind. Because once it enters that, that's when you go into sleep. And that's what you want. You want to go to sleep. Right, so my final thoughts on this. So, to sum it all up, remember what we said. Sleep is vital for your body and your mind. Most people struggle because of stress, screens, food, caffeine, noise, or poor routines. It's always the same. But with the right techniques, breathing, relaxation, routine, and creating a sleep-friendly space, you can fall asleep much better. It's like me, when I'm talking to you, I'm talking at a high-pitched voice now, aren't I? Now, if I'm talking to you in this level of tone, I'm grabbing your attention. But then if I wanted you to relax, I just need to relax myself and lower my tone. And the slower I talk, the deeper my voice goes, the more you're going to start to feel relaxed. This is how it works. It may take some practice, okay? It will take some practice. Don't expect miracles on night one. But if you keep at it, your body and your brain will learn through conditioning, repetition, over and over and over again. Right, anyway, thanks for watching. If you found this helpful and you've not fell asleep, drop us a like. Leave a comment about your own sleep struggles and share this with someone who needs better rest, because this stuff really works. And remember, a good night's sleep isn't just about feeling rested, it's about living healthier and a happier life. So until next time, guys, I'll say good night and I'll see you on the next video.